Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be unboxing a bunch of US special editions that I have had collecting in the US warehouse. I've actually had 2 shipments come across since I last filmed one of these, so some of these might be older stuff, but we're going to dive straight in with some that I already opened. And the first one was from the Bookish Box. I managed to pick these up in the Black Friday sale, I think, quite some time ago now, and that is the Stalking Jack the Ripper series by Kerry Maniscalco. These are the reprint editions that they did with, I think it's more of a rose gold foil than a copper foil. So they have this oldie worldy look on the covers with this kind of tea stained look. I just think they're really pretty. I really like the rose gold colour, and they just all have these pink sprayed edges. And then underneath, I just really liked the foiling on the hardbacks as well. So on the first one, we have this heart design and a quote on the back. They are hand signed, and there's also reverse dust jackets on these, which I also think are quite pretty. I'm not going to go through all of these, but you get the rough idea. The second one has a skeletal hand on the front. We also have under the dust jacket artwork. Then I have a series that came from Arcane Society. I can't remember what the actual series is called, but it starts with Kings of Quarantine, and it is by Caroline Peckham and Susan Valenti. Again, we kind of have this sketchy papery look on the hardbacks, and then these beautiful black and white illustrations. The first one has like this pale blue foil all over, as you can see. With the second one, we also have a building. We have the inside of a library on the front of the third book, and then another building on the fourth book. But the main reason that I went for this particular set, apart from thinking the covers were absolutely beautiful, the spread edges on these are insane. Look at the colours on this. It has these beautiful spread edges. There's some characters along the bottom of the edges. I just love the quality of Arcane Society and Mystic Box. I have recently signed up to Bell Book Box, so I will be getting some of those. Probably not as many. I'll probably skip a bit more on those. I think they have unlimited skips, just because I'm not as keen on contemporary romance. Moving on to some of the sealed boxes now. This one is the Fox and Wit December subscription box. So the theme for this month was survival. We have a little wooden bookmark in there, and then the book, this was one I really liked the sound of. It is the Terrace Trials by Lucien Ver. I think I am going to cancel my Fox and Wit subscription. They only seem to do mainly dust jackets for their books, and it's quite expensive to just have the dust jackets done. This one did have a few extra design parts to it. You can see we have this beautiful cover. I can't remember who the designer is on this, but I really, really like the cover. And then that is the back. We have a foiled hardback on this one, on this green hardcover. There is a ribbon bookmark in this, and then we also have some end paper artwork, which I think is really, really pretty. The description for this book says, in an England where monsters have spilled into the world out of myth, only London is magically protected from the monstrous threat. The university runs the city, allowing family of graduate hunters, healers, scholars and artificers to live behind the wards. Cassius Jones is 19 and ready for the university, but when a bad year for the terrorist threat is projected, the university opens its admissions to anyone in England, behind the wards or otherwise, and suddenly the Joneses' place in London is no longer secure. Cassius must contend with every other student vying for a place and the darkest secrets of his society, whilst also balancing a tenuous interest in another boy. Burr's debut is the first book in a dark fantasy series that challenges the nature of academia and the integrity of morality. I think this has some gay romance in. It just sounds very interesting. Next up, we have the September 2023 Bookish Box subscription box, and that month's book was The Fall of Ruin and Wrath by Jennifer L. Armentrout. We have a plain cream hardback with some red foiling on there and just a bird on the back. There does look to be an edge that is possibly designed to have a larger image running along several of the books. Underneath we have this pretty foiled tree design and the bird again on the back. So it's the artwork from the front cover, basically, without the title. Lovely spine on there with a sword in the background. The under dust jacket on this is really pretty, but again, they've stopped doing the matte lamination on the reverse jackets, which is really annoying because I hate gloss. I used to love it when Bookish Box did the matte lamination on the reverse jackets. I tend to prefer their reverse jackets to their front jackets most of the time. We also have some character artwork on the end papers for this one. Same on the front and the back. Next up, we have Arcane Society, and this is their Grace Draven box, which I'm very excited about. So we have a couple of art prints with character artwork on. As always with Arcane Society, we do get a pin included in the box, which just has a couple of birds on there. And then we have the books, which I think are absolutely beautiful. We have some gorgeous artwork on here, and then loads of gold foil. We have red foiled edges, and I've never seen any other book box do foil edges this way. We have some end paper artwork here. I'm assuming this is inspired by Beauty and the Beast. And then on the back, we look to have like the mirror with the beast in, and we have the stained glass window with the rose in. And then we also have Master of Crows, again with some beautiful artwork on there, and the same gold foil treatment, but we have gold on the edges this time, and a crow on the back of the book. As I said, Arcane Society is one of my favourite subscription boxes right now. I just absolutely love their designs. I love the aesthetic. I love the books they choose. I am just so happy with that subscription, and if I had to keep any, I think it would be Arcane and Mystic. Next, I have my Onyx quarterly subscription box, and we have the Bargainer series by Laura Thalassa. This is one book every quarter, but they are meant to be omnibuses. They did recently announce their latest one. They had split it into 2 different sets, and you had to buy the add-on to get the full omnibus, which I'm not keen on that idea. Like, if I sign up to a quarterly omnibus box, I want it to be an omnibus and it to all be included. So the fact they started splitting them has put me off a little bit, and you're not allowed to skip with these. So if you were to get next month's box, which you cannot skip, and didn't have the money to buy the add-on, you're getting half of an omnibus, which is not what I signed up for. So I'm a little bit put off by that, but we will see how it goes. I have on this occasion purchased the add-on, but I'm hoping that's not something they're going to make a regular thing, because I feel like that defeats the point of the box. We have the entirety of the Bargainer series, which comes in this beautiful slipcase that has holographic foiling on it. There are quotes on both sides, and then the title on the spine. And then the book is honestly so pretty. We have lovely character artwork on the front, and it says "Till Darkness Dies," again with the holographic foiling on the title. We have a bunch of little fairies down the sprayed edges, and then on the back we have the castle and another quote. I just think this is actually like one of the prettiest editions of the Bargainer series, and we have the hand signature. I really like the idea of having it all in one book. Also, it takes up much less space on the shelf rather than having several books. I do have multiple editions of this though now. I have the Bookish Box edition, and I also have the Arcane Society editions. So I think I'm gonna have to make some decisions about which is my favorite and which ones I want to keep, because shelf space is valuable and I have run out. So that was my first batch of books that I've gone through. Now we're moving on to the second batch that only came in recently. Next we have another one from Fox and Wit, and I can't remember if this is one that I actually tried to cancel. I know there was one of Fox and Wit's that I missed the deadline for cancelling, as I didn't realise how early the deadline was. Okay, so this is their January adult book. The theme is witches and curses. That's so random. We have an overlay for Legends and Lattes. I could put that in my other edition. I do have other editions of Legends and Lattes, but I don't have one from Fox and Wit, so I'm a little unsure why that's in there. This book feels very thin. This is the one I tried to cancel, and they wouldn't let me. I think this one also got delayed as well, if I remember correctly. This one is Of Roses and Rituals by S.L. Prater. Cover is not really my style. I feel like they were going for like really old romance books. Just a window on the back, some foiling on the book, and a quote on the back of the book. It looks very short. Let me see how many pages this is. 200 pages, I might give it a go. But I did not want this book. Make sure you keep an eye on your deadlines and skip your subscriptions when you're not interested in the book. I cancelled my Fable subscription last year. I don't regret it. And I cancelled my Goldsboro subscription at the start of this year, and I have not regretted that either so far. So I think I am gonna possibly be cancelling some more subscriptions. I have signed up to new ones. I will definitely be swapping more subscriptions around this year. I'm trying to use my skips as much as possible when I'm not interested in the books. Next, we have a book from Bookish Box. They did a reprint of Sick Fucks by Tilly Cole, and I missed out on the first one of this, and I think this is a dark romance, and I really enjoyed Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman. I started reading Den of Vipers. I think I got about halfway through that. It was okay. There was some bits that made me feel a little bit uncomfortable, like the knife play. But I could still read it. It was just like a bit like, ew. But yeah, I do want to read more dark romance. I just think it's really interesting. I don't know anything about this book. I just know that the dark romance girlies love this book. Like, everyone seemed to go nuts over this. We have this edition with pink foil on, and then some kind of clock stuff going on the spine. I'm not sure. Something to represent time by the looks of it. This one isn't signed because it's a reprint. We have beautiful interior formatting, as with all of Bookish Box and Arcane books. I'm really excited to try this. And this one is just over 250 pages. So again, another short one. I feel like I've been reading a lot of really long books lately. I'm currently reading Crescent City 2. So that's like 1,000 pages long. It's slow going. I feel like for that book, you have to really enjoy spending time with the characters to enjoy the book, which I am enjoying it. It's slow. I think after I finish that, I need to pick up a couple of short ones, so I think those will be added to my TBR. Next up, I have 2 boxes from Twisted Fiction book box, and these are quite a new one. I don't think they're a subscription box. I think they just do special editions, and I bought the first 2 that they did. So the first one had blown up on TikTok around the time that they announced it, and I believe that is this one. So the book is How Does It Feel by Janine O'Reilly, and it's just this beautiful gold foiling with moths on the front, and then we do have these lovely sprayed edges that have like butterflies and flowers down the side, and then a quote on the back. And this is book 1 in the Infatuated Fae series. We have some end papers here with, again, some butterflies and toadstools in. We have a little author's note in the front there, and then interior formatting and a playlist. The dedication in the front here says, "To you, my hope is not that you finish this book, but that this book finishes you." So that is an interesting introduction to the book. I saw someone on TikTok talk about this book, and just this one person reviewing this book made me really want to read it. I'm very happy to have this edition. I don't know if they're going to continue on with the series just because it has since been picked up by a publisher. These are Smithsonian binding by the looks of it, so they should hold up well. These are the first books I've received from Twisted Book Box. I must say, I feel like they have had way less delays than other new boxes, like Lit Haven. I have yet to receive any of my pre-ordered books from Lit Haven now, and I think they've been going over a year at this point. Not a great sign. Twisted Fiction Book Box, I don't think I ordered from them too long ago, like a few months maybe, and I'm already getting their books, so that in itself is a good sign. This, I believe, is some more dark romance. We have Kid and Hawk by Jesky Hall. I just think the designs for these were really interesting. I'm very intrigued by the duck on the front of this one. And then the edges have these wacky blue and pink skulls and pills on for Kid. And then Hawk, it's kind of designed like with this newspaper style. It says something about a car crash on the front, some handcuffs on the back, and then just some like chains and hearts down the sprayed edges. I don't know much about these. This seemed to be a popular series, but if it's dark romance, then I'm happy to give those a go. I quite like seeing something so unique from a book box and something a bit different that you're not really seeing anywhere else. So I'm very interested to try these. Okay, we have 2 boxes left. We have another Bookish Box box, and this is a special edition that I have ordered. I think I have the first one of this. I hope I do. And it is Long Live the Elf Queen. I think the first one was pink, but we have this blue cover this time. Pretty sprayed edges. We just have holographic foiling on the cover, and then the reverse dust jacket. I like the front dust jacket with the matte cover. I actually prefer the artwork on the front jacket as well. I think there might be more to come in this series, but I have the first 2. And our final box is from Eternal Embers. I don't know if this is an Onyx box or an Eternal Embers box now. I cannot remember, because I have recently also signed up for Eternal Embers, which is Onyx is their quarterly box for like fantasy romance, and I think Eternal Embers is more contemporary. I do like some of these book boxes are putting their books in these things so that they don't get damaged. It's very nice to not have crushed corners. This one is Krista and Becca Ritchie are the authors, and it is Whatever It Takes and Wherever You Are. Now, this was the first box I got was Abby Jimenez, but that was paperbacks and it hasn't arrived yet. They have switched over to hardback now. These are the hardback versions. This was the first set for switching over, so I couldn't skip this box. It's not a series I was particularly interested in, but seeing as I wanted the hardback subscription and I'd waited months to get onto it, there was no skipping this for me. I do kind of like what they've done though. We have this comic book style scene. I'm yet to know whether these are gonna like match up with the books. I just think it's a very interesting take. Again, similar to like Twisted Fiction, they have based the covers on things that happen in the book. So we have like these comic book scenes and quote on the back. We do have sprayed edges as well. Interesting end papers. It's kind of like a Q&A. They are hand signed. There are content warnings in here, so I don't know if it's like contemporary or dark romance, but I'm intrigued. This actually looks better in person than it did on the pictures. I actually quite like the look of this comic book style. That is everything. Oh, it also came in another slipcase with holographic foil on. I think I can have 4 skips a year with Eternal Embers, but if I do run out of skips, I think I'll just cancel and re-sign up to the wait list. So that was everything for my US Special Edition unboxing. What did you think of the editions, guys? Did any of them look up your street? What did you think of the designs? Are any of them books you are interested? Let me know down in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will see you next time.